Yeah, Alex, perhaps a better question is, are they engaged? And experts say they're not. In fact, here at the Registrar of Voters, if you wanted to vote early, it was in and out, no lines, no wait. But that might not bode so well for voter turnout. Hallelujah. As you just saw for Dr. Kofi Peter Epa, casting his ballot early was cause for celebration, but most Californians aren't as enthusiastic about voting early or at all this March election. In fact, the bipartisan voting data firm predicts only about a third of registered voters will return their ballots this election. In LA County, as of this morning, roughly 1 in 10 ballots had been returned. And experts say that's reflective of a general lack of a competitive presidential primary, with both Biden and Trump expected to win their respective party nominations. Even local races, they say, have failed to energize voters, but that means short lines for those who do turn out to vote.
I'm originally from Africa, and I know there are some countries where you cannot vote. So to me, that is a privilege to be a naturalized citizen in this great country and be able to exercise my right, because it's so important that we shape democracy. If we don't, who else will do it?
It's our right, so everybody should be voting. Everybody should be out here telling what they think, how they feel, who they want to run the government. And that's why I'm here, because I want to let my voice be heard.
In and out?
In and out. Very quick. Very easy and very quick.
And some political experts we spoke with today also tell us that donors have been less than enthusiastic, sort of taking a wait-and-see approach to see who emerges as the frontrunners in the Senate races and also the DA's race here in LA County before they put their money behind any candidates. Again, tomorrow is the last day to vote and also the last day to drop off your ballot. Live in Norwalk, I'm Christy Fajardo. Let's send it back to you.
Yeah, let's talk about that. How many people have that ballot sitting right there on their counter? Deadline time, right, Christy?
It is deadline time. As long as it is postmarked by tomorrow, it should be counted.
So you can either put it in your mailbox, or you can take it to one of those ballot drop-off boxes, which are around Southern California, or you can take it to a voting center and hand it in. Those are the three options you have going into tomorrow.
Is that postmark.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, on the day before Super Tuesday, U.S. Senate candidate and current Congresswoman Barbara Lee back at her alma mater, San Fernando High School today. The high school serving as a voting center. The school is where she won her first election from the school's first black cheerleader.
That was my first election. I was 15 years old, and other black and brown girls subsequent to that were able to become cheerleaders. And so I'm still fighting to disrupt barriers and to try to make life better for everyone so that everyone has an opportunity to do what they want to do and to be who they want to be.
Lee graduated from San Fernando High in 1964. When she first started going there, students of color were not allowed to become cheerleaders. But the NAACP helped her change the selection process to an election process, and she made the squad. Lee hopes to shock the doubters again in tomorrow's Senate primary. Polls show her trailing behind fellow candidates Steve Garvey, Adam Schiff, and Katie Porter. So here is a look at that poll. Just released last week by UC Berkeley, LA Times, IGS. Republican Steve Garvey leading the way with 27%. Democratic Congressman Adam Schiff virtually tied at 25% because that's within the statistical dead heat there. Congresswoman Katie Porter in third place, followed by Barbara Lee. Remember, the top two candidates advance in this race, regardless of party. They'll face off in November.
Different type of get out the vote campaign in Hollywood, with Grammy Award-winning rapper Nas taking the stage. This concert targets owners of cryptocurrency. The goal is to entice crypto users to get involved in local elections. Organizers say they want a regulated financial system that works for everyone, including the 8 million Californians who own cryptocurrency. The Supreme Court gave former President Trump a major win today. The justices unanimously ruled that states cannot kick Trump off the presidential primary ballot for his alleged role in the January 6th riot. The decision restores his name on ballots in Colorado, Maine, Illinois. Fox News correspondent Caroline Shively is live in Washington. Caroline.
Hi there, Christine. The Supreme Court ruled that Colorado had gone too far, and former President Trump will stay on the primary ballot. The decision actually applies to all 50 states and comes just one day before Super Tuesday.
It was a very important decision. We're very well crafted.
President Trump, usually a critic of the U.S. court system, called the justices' ruling keeping him on the Colorado ballot unifying and inspirational.
I think it will go a long way toward bringing our country together, which our country needs.
At the center of the case, Section 3 of the 14th Amendment bars a person who has participated in an insurrection from holding federal office. The Colorado court ruled in December that Trump was ineligible because of the alleged role he played in the Capitol riot in 2021, even though he has never been charged. Reversing that decision, the U.S. Supreme Court held responsibility for enforcing Section 3 against federal office holders and candidates rests with Congress and not the states.
The entire court spoke against it, all 9.
The ruling not only reverses decisions in Colorado, Maine, and Illinois, it also stops efforts in 7 other states with similar court cases.
If this was allowed to go forward, Colorado's decision to unilaterally remove the choice from the people, that it would create an untenable patchwork across the country.
Mr. Trump faces much greater legal jeopardy next month when the justices will hear his argument that he cannot be prosecuted for trying to overturn the 2020 election because he's covered by presidential immunity. Christine and Alex, back to you.
Yeah, and Caroline, the thinking is that that could be opposite the other way, a sort of unanimous decision on that, right?
Yes, absolutely. Trump's election interference trial was supposed to start in Washington today, Alex, but it's now stalled thanks to the presidential immunity question. That could be coming late April. The week of April 22nd is when we'll hear it, probably a ruling coming late June. Timing-wise, it could throw this whole court schedule away and maybe even hit after the election.
Yeah, the court was likely to rule with him today and likely to rule against him in that case. What we will see. Caroline Shiley, thank you so much.